All right, so we're going to start with the most basic parts of this, the popcorn itself. Two types. Jolly Time white popcorn. Very important, Jolly Time. Other ones don't taste as good. And of course, I'm a big fan of Orville Redenbacher's yellow. Take them. That's one. And just take your hand and then I have a big one of these I bought. So I just using it to pour it back into there. Yeah, so it's not perfect. Bright side is I have a nice clean counter, so it does not bug me in the least. Because before I started, obviously, I cleaned everything. So now you got your popcorn ready to go on a moment's notice should you make it at any time. Now the next part, I forgot to bring everything out. Everything's the rule of twos in this. 2 popcorns, 2 oils. I prefer Mazola corn oil. And now this is the one that I've took a while on. This Luana coconut oil is the best one. Comes out, has the best taste out of all of them. Now I've noticed that other ones aren't as refined. This is the 100% pure. I don't know. I realize there's like different styles and everything else. I don't know what style this is. I got this on Amazon because I can't even find it anymore in the stores. This is the one I like the best taste of. Some of the other ones give it a kind of a blander taste, to be honest. So and then of course, the last part, which is that we need 2 types of butter. We have salted and unsalted. Yes, they do taste different. So let's prep the the butter first. So I have my little cup here. So it's usually about 2 tablespoons and 2 tablespoons. So I'm just going to use the rest of it up there. It works. I think I got one in there. Throw that in the microwave and do the soften melt feature, which hopefully you have one. Do that. I'd actually do it right away. Don't even have to wait until popcorn's going because it's easier just to have it ready. All right, now let's take popcorn. In my case, this is what I'm doing for one batch. 1 handful, 2, 3, a little extra. That should be good. Now, oh, forgot, yes. I did not bring everything out, did I? No, I did not. So here's where it gets, you want to see what I'm really doing here. Can I get that to go down a little more? I think I can. There we go. All right. So the corn oil. So almost covers everything, but not quite. You don't want it quite covering it. So that's what this job's going to be. Go in, take a slather, about that big, and maybe a little bit a smaller one. That's it on those. Big fan of putting stuff away as I'm going along, because that way it's not in your way. Now, this is the popcorn salt, which I'll get the can thing over. It's kind of big, so I just kind of keep it out of the kitchen. But so it's Flavor Cal, also available on Amazon. I bought it. It came in a big 2-pack. So I just that's why I just take a little bit, keep it on hand, put the rest in the pantry. It's just easier. Less stuff in the way and everything else. Okay, so now let's start this up. Frame too small. Oh, because I'm hitting the wrong thing. Okay, so let's bring this back over here a little more. So now we're putting on our heat. I actually put it on low first. Put on, well, like about 7. So I don't want to start heating it up just yet. Still want to get everything else kind of ready. I'm Maverick. Yep. Kind of just getting in now. I'm going to set it out. So I'm going to have my bowl here. I'm going to have my butter here when it's ready, and my salts on the ready. So when I mix it, when I melt it, I'm going to want it like this. But then I stir it together. Until it becomes looks like that. All right. It's kind of important. Otherwise, your butter's separating. That ready? Okay, hold on a second. Alright. I'll keep checking on the butter, the popcorn, mix it around. There you go. You want to turn it up a little bit. So have this pop up. Actually, before this goes in first. So now what we do. Usually I wait till it's all melted in there. We're going to take this, sprinkle a little bit over the top. It's a light sprinkle, but you want it to look like that. Top back on. Now we just wait. And there we go with the edit, because I had to take a work call. So, haha. Real life sinks in. In the meantime, this kind of solidified, or broke apart. So once again, just come back in. You can stir this back up. So it's not, deadly process that you have to keep going 100% all the time. And slosh this around. Okay, so as you see, by the way, in the meantime, it all melted down. So now we have just oil. You can see it's not really swimming in oil, but it's covered well. So it's covered well. So at this point, I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit more. Let's turn the light on so we can see that maybe a little bit better. Now I kind of clean up my work area, because I'm a very tidy guy like that. Just makes it a little easier. So we'll have this. Grab some salt. Now this one, I've been experimenting with sea salt lately. I actually like the taste of sea salt a little better in it. You can use regular table salt. The stuff I used before was regular table salt, so that was always good. There are a couple batches in there that might have had some sea salt in it. I think the sea salt gives it a little bit more flavor, and it's a little better for you. So, never said this was the best popcorn for you, but like it's the best tasting. Unless you're John trying to go with the blasphemy stuff, like that's gonna be questionable now. We're gonna have to little chats about that. All right, so it's getting there. Now I have I have a thing that has a power boil. So I like to use that every once in a while. Really nice, kicks it up that much faster. Now you just gotta wait a few minutes here. Now I remember people used to say, like, oh, you have to keep the lid on, otherwise it doesn't get as hot in there and it'll never pop. And I'm like, I learned that's all malarkey. So as that gets hotter, I come back over, keep making sure to stir this every once in a while. That's okay. Because now what we're really waiting for this to do is start foaming. You start seeing it. Start seeing how it's getting that little bit of foam on top there? That's how you know, like, you want like a light layer of foam on top. That way you know it's actually been salted properly. If it doesn't foam, you didn't use enough salt. Crank it up. So let's see where we're at. See, it's now starting to really get a little foamy in there. I don't know how well you can see that. Like that. The foam should cover all of it and you won't almost see the kernels for a little bit. So when it's like covered in that foam, the foam grabs onto each of the popcorn as it's going, comes up. Should be very close. Yep, it should start popping literally any second right now. Yep, there they go. Now we start. So now the idea is to let a little pop. Got stuff in here. So I'll get some out. I do it layer by layer in here. So I'm gonna dump some out. Butter, salt, mix it up, dump some out, butter, salt, mix it up. Now I'm a big proponent. I let it pop all the way to the top and then start taking it out. Okay, you can hear that it's definitely going there, so definitely one more time. Mix up the butter. Add a little butter. Crank in some salt. And then mix. Crank it down a little bit because now we're running out of popcorn in there. I'll shut it off and let it finish off popping so that I don't get as many bad ones on the end. It's going to keep going for a bit. Because inevitably I will pour it in and the last few hot ones will pop in here and explode. Just leave it like that. And there you go. Now, like I've said before, the best is not to even eat it right off the bat. Let it sit for a few days. But at this point, let's do what you want. Enjoy.